Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Use the Stuff, where MK and I are both using as much stuff as we can out of our stash so that we can make some room for some new product and get the stuff that we've already purchased off of our shelves and into some albums. So I am starting out with a bunch of circles that I'm punching from some scrap paper. So using stuff out of my scrap bin to start with. And then I'm going to use some prepackaged items out of my stash as well. So I have two photos. What actually drove the entire idea for this layout is the title that says Feisty and Fierce over to the right hand side. That's been in my stash for ages. And I have a whole bunch of thicker titles that are kind of like that, where it's the words or phrases. And I'm trying to use those up. So I have this picture of the little girl that I take care of. The face that she is making over this plate of barbecue is like she is ready to dig in and attack. And so I thought that was perfect for the title Feisty and Fierce. And I went ahead and altered my photograph to be black and white with the exception of her. And then there is a little Andes mint on the right hand photo that I left green, because when she wanted to go to this restaurant, I asked her where she wanted to go for lunch, and she said the one with the minty chocolate. So took me a while to figure it out, and it is her local barbecue shop. And she's got a plate of, I think, either brisket or tri-tip, I'm not sure, in front of her, and she's ready to dig in. So anyway, that's what we're going with. And since that title is kind of a peachy pink, well, it's more peach than pink, and then it's got like a foiled blue outline around it, I decided to pull out this polka dot paper, which is from one of the newer collections. I don't know if it's from the, it's a newer American Crafts or Bo Bunny collection. It might be from Brighton. I'm not really 100% sure. And then I do have some ephemera from Woodland Grove. See, I've already brought in some newer stuff, you guys. Those are newer embellishments from, I just picked them up at Joann's when they were on sale. I didn't pick up the whole collection of anything. I just picked up some papers that I thought would backfill into my colors nicely. So I tend to buy patterned paper that reads as a solid, although this one obviously doesn't read as a solid. It's polka dot. But several of the other ones do read as solid, so I just happen to like this polka dot. I think the other side I liked as well. Pardon me. So this one didn't, I don't necessarily think I intended to use it as the polka dot, but it was perfect for that title. So I pulled out some colors that went with it out of my scrap bin, and I'm punching some circles. So I am kind of making my own embellishments, but not really. All of the embellishments are actually coming from this pack of stuff that I purchased before we actually thought about doing this series. So it's not that I intended to, or I bought them with this intention in mind, but I do want to use some of it up. And actually I've used almost all of the stuff in this particular ephemera pack at this point. So the blues and yellows, I think I used those on the baby layout that I did for Stretch the Sketch, and then I'm using the pinks and greens over here. And so I'm liking the way that this is looking. I decided to go with those larger polka dots or larger circles that I was able to punch with my punches, instead of doing a strip of paper, because I've been doing that. I'm looking for some different things to do and get out of my rut just a little bit. And I really like the way that this looks, and I thought the big circles looked nice and complemented those smaller circles or the polka dots really well. I also liked that the paper has the blue-green in the upper right-hand corner, and it goes towards the darker pinks in the lower left-hand corner. At least that's how I have the paper oriented right now. Yeah, I'm using a little bit of Nuvo Deluxe adhesive just to adhere everything down, and then I will trim off those circles at the end when I am finished there. I think those two rectangular pieces. I don't think they came out of the ephemera pack. I think they might have been cut out of one of the sheets of paper that was like a cut apart. And sometimes I do buy sheets like that so that I can cut them up and use them as labels. And that is a really inexpensive way to get a bunch of labels, especially if you get them at Joann's when they have their, I want to say it's 10 for $3 now. It used to be 10 for 2 or something like that, but now it's 10 for 3. So, I mean, it makes them really inexpensive versus buying a whole pack of ephemera that is essentially the same thing. You can just cut them apart. You can do the same also with your florals and fussy cut those out, and that would be very helpful and cost-effective way to create your embellishments also. Okay, so I am inking everything up with a little bit of black soot distress ink just so that it creates a nice border around everything and really makes everything stand out just a little bit more. And I'm liking the way that that's looking. Again, using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere just about everything down on this layout. I don't use much ATG at all on this one. I'm trying to figure out where to tuck in these other little rosebuds, and I think I'll go ahead and make sure I don't mind them going over the photograph. I just don't want them to cover everything. So I was just playing around with that, and I think I'm going to end up going with just the leaves and not doing the ones that have the buds on it because they were a little bit bigger. And I like that it also brings the green down to the lower part of the layout. There is a green circle behind those 2 flowers, but it's not very prevalent, and there's more green up above. So I just thought it was a nice way to kind of bring that color down. It's not the exact same shade of green, but it is just a darker tone. The leaves are a darker tone than the circles. And I'm pretty happy with the way that that's turning out. I also decided to use that foiled pink paper because there is the foiling around the title, even though that foiling is in the blue, which kind of is picked up by those blue circles that I punched out. So I decided to bring in the pink foiling just to kind of get that used up a little bit. I have I don't know, it's not a whole sheet. Maybe it's 8.5 by 11 or a little bit smaller than that. And I felt like it needed to get used also. So there you have it. I am gluing down the little circles for the eyes, and I think I am, well, maybe I'm not quite close to done. I think I'm going to add some sequins or something to this layout. Or actually, I think I end up adding some little wood hearts. The little wood hearts that are in the package right above the upper right hand corner. So there are some flowers in there, and then there are some little hearts. Now the little hearts did not come in that package. They came in a package that has has 3 small viewfinders in it, or viewmasters, and one is black, one's white, and one's wood grain. I've used the wood grain one, and these are the leftover hearts that make the little what would be the little holes for the viewfinder. And those are from MK's shop over at someassemblagerequired.com. This pack of florals also came with these acetate leaves and an acetate butterfly. So I'm going to go ahead and add those. Since I've already got some foiling on this layout, I thought those were a nice addition because they're kind of reflective and pick up the light just like the foiled circles do. Makes it very soft and very feminine, and I think that's really cute. And it's a little bit of a juxtaposition of on the words, I guess. I hope that's the right word for that. Anyway, she is feisty and fierce at times, but she is also very girly at times, and she is also very soft and sweet at times. So, like most kids. Now I'm adding a little bit of sequins. The sequins are from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and I think they're called Desert Rose. These are quite old. I've had them in my stash for quite a while, so I don't know that they are still available or not, but I thought they were the perfect color to match the pink on those big pink foiled circles, and so I thought I'd bring those in as well just to give it a little bit of added sparkle. I also cut off the blue label that was up top, and I brought it down below so that a little bit more journaling could be written down there. And then I'm going to ink up the entire thing with a little bit of black soot all the way around the outside just to finish off the edges. While I do that, don't forget to go check out MK's channel and see what she's doing over there today for her Use the Stuff layout. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. And you can see those little tiny hearts tucked in underneath the florals there, and I really love how those look, you guys. So you can check that out. I'll put a link for that product down below if it's still available also. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video, so come back then. See you then. Bye-bye.